And joining me now from Odessa, Ukraine, is global affairs analyst Michael Bosserque. He's the former spokesperson for the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe and senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. Good to see you again. So these delegations, they've met before without any major breakthroughs. Do you get any sense that these new talks could move things forward at all, or are you just expecting more diplomatic theater?
Good to be with you, Kim. Well, yeah, more diplomatic theater, and that's definitely the feeling I'm picking up here in Ukraine. The feeling being the following. Sorry, guys, but words don't stop Russian missiles the way Patriot missile defense systems do. If there were more Patriot missile defense systems protecting Kyiv and certainly World Port Odesa, where I am right now, we wouldn't have anywhere close to the death and destruction that we saw over the past 24 hours and certainly over the past 3+ years. You know, it boggles the mind, Kim, that Europe has expressed a lot of outrage at what happened, including, in Kyiv over the past 24 hours, including the hits on the diplomatic properties, as your correspondent pointed out. And, this isn't the first time these properties have been hit. The properties belong to many NATO countries. And one would have thought that in a perfect world, this would have triggered a much, much bigger reaction from NATO. I'm not saying triggering the Article 5 collective response, but much more. One last thought on this one, if I may. I think a lot of Ukrainians are pretty savvy. They watch a lot of world news, and they figure if European leaders can't do much about a man-made famine occurring on their doorstep, that being Gaza, what can they do to end the war in Ukraine? There's just a feeling of helplessness here right now.
Speaking of European officials, we're hearing some skepticism from German officials about whether Putin and Zelensky will actually sit down together, as sort of was suggested after the Putin-Trump summit. Do you think that's realistic at this point, or we're still way too far apart for any type of direct talks?
Way too far apart. Of course, it did look close, didn't it, when we had that circus happening in Alaska? But I think Mr. Macron and the German Chancellor have made it clear in the past 24 hours that that is not going to happen. It would be, I think, very, very difficult for Mr. Zelensky to meet with Mr. Putin right now, especially after what's happened. And of course, the Russians are following their normal narrative, aren't they? Saying that there are many, many details to work out, and we have to, get the Ukrainians to see our point of view. But yet, pretty amazing that that summit that happened in Alaska just happened in a few days' time, and yet they think that a summit between these two leaders can't happen.
Yeah. Talking about some of those details about a possible peace deal, security guarantees. I mean, there are some ideas being floated around about a large buffer zone, and the U.S. is apparently offering to provide intelligence support and help create a European air shield for Ukraine. But it sounds like the U.S. wants Europeans to do the heavy lifting with tens of thousands of troops. So is Europe actually willing and capable to step up like that?
Not at the moment. I think the best way we can describe what's going on, especially discussions, the past day or so about creation of a 40-kilometer buffer zone between the Ukrainian and Russian sides. This is grasping at straws. The Europeans are really, really struggling to come up with potential battalions to help safeguard Ukraine. And also the feeling here from what I'm picking up on the ground is what's needed is an immediate solution. The British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and others are saying, we need the coalition of willing, we need to commit ourselves to a post-war Ukraine process. But what Ukrainians really want is something to happen now. And one of those big things, of course, is the unfreezing of that almost 200 billion in frozen Russian assets sitting in European banks. That would go a long way to helping Ukraine not only purchase weapons, but help deal with a $3 billion a month budget deficit. Big problem there is you have countries like Belgium, the capital of Euroclear, that are worried about the integrity of the euro. Well, I have a message for them. You can worry about the integrity of the euro right now, but what's going to happen if Mr. Putin is not pushed back? He will go further and further into Europe. He will increase his hybrid war, including meddling in elections, neutralizing opponents on foreign soil. There's a long rap sheet against Russia that they should be very familiar with.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the worst case scenarios. Great to get your perspective from Ukraine. Michael Bosarq in Odessa. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.